And I should be recording, and we are recording now. Okay. All right, Lena's still chatting here. Shall we begin? Yes. All right, perfect. Okay, so everything should be up on the screen there, and I'd like to welcome everybody. We were hoping for a much larger crowd, but I understand how busy all those social workers are. They'll be able to jump in and watch this recording, as well as have access to some of the information later on as well. So thank you very much for sharing your time with us today. You've been invited to participate in a new pilot project being offered by SeniorCareAccess called the SeniorCareAccess Vacancy Program. My name is Paul Cuttajar, and we also have Esther Goldstein with us. Say hi, Esther.
Hi, Esther.
There you go. Now, there's a lot of information about this program that we could share, but we recognize the value of time. So what we would like to do is offer you a brief description of who we are, and then jump right into exposing you to the website and how you would access it. If you are interested in seeing the full PowerPoint presentation, you can access the link by checking your email over the next few days. Esther will be sending you a copy of the detailed presentation, as well as a link to access a recording of today's presentation. So you will be able to go back and pick or select information you might need access to about the site. Now, about 2 weeks ago, we were in the same theater and we did a presentation, and that information is what we're referring to. So you'll have access to the entire piece that describes all the components of what the site looks like. So really the question is, what are we doing here, right? Well, we recognize the need for senior housing solutions. And a piece of that leads us to ask, what solutions are available to patients who may benefit from respite, short stay, or more permanent housing needs outside of their current homes? The most beneficial solution is housing with care options, and this can easily be made available by participating retirement homes. You have patients in need, and they have vacancies to offer. So our SeniorCareAccess Vacancy Program bridges your needs with their solutions. More information on how this benefits the patient, the social worker, and the retirement home is identified in the PowerPoint presentation that I was referring to. So we feel that it's important that you understand who is behind the vacancy program and the power the organizations are offering. SeniorCareAccess.com is a joint venture between Senioropolis Inc. and Pivotal Aging Innovations. By joining forces, SeniorCareAccess.com offers solutions to professionals and seniors like no other opportunity. Here are some details of our organizations powering Senior Care Access. Esther, do you want to jump on and do your Senioropolis part?
Sure.
Excellent.
So most of you know us or know me because I used to be a social worker at SunnyBrook several years ago. I created the book you're all familiar with called The Comprehensive Guide to Retirement Living. It's now in its 22nd edition, which is specifically about retirement homes. The website that the data for the book comes from is senioropolis.com. As you know, the information we have in the publication and online is very extensive. But in the last few years, I've repeatedly been approached by people and organizations who want access to back-end unbiased data. Since the limiting factor for all existing websites has been that all homes that are part of any website pay to be there, this eliminates all homes that do not pay. So the idea for the advanced site from Senioropolis, SeniorCareAccess.com, came to be out of multiple requests and conversations about what I'm really good at, which is data on seniors housing and educating people about it. For years, My focus has been to create an extensive database of housing information, and SeniorCareAccess is basically what we have in Senioropolis on steroids. And parts of the site are specifically geared to professionals who need to access information fast and know the kind of care that a person needs. We have a completely unbiased, secure database of over 4,000 retirement homes across Canada, currently with a goal of expanding to multiple levels of care using over 350 available data fields. In joining forces with Paul and Pivotal, I've been able to add consulting, education, and resource components to the work that I love doing.
Awesome. So you can see the strength and the empowerment or the impact that that database has, and that database coming from Senioropolis. So with that, as Esther mentioned, in us working together, I'll tell you a little bit about Pivotal Aging Innovations. Obviously, as you figured by now, my name is Paul Cuttajar, and I am the principal owner of Pivotal. I do have a business partner. Her name is Denise Bedard, and she offers over 35 years in working in long-term care. I'm also a licensed realtor for the past 13 years, as well as Canada's first master accredited senior agent. Now, the master ASAs focus their business in working with seniors in transition, in particular when it comes to seniors real estate. Now, in developing Pivotal Aging Innovations, it was important for us to offer innovative programs and services designed for older adults to empower them at a pivotal time of their lives. Thus the name Pivotal Aging Innovations. Pivotal's position is always to be person-centered, and we offer person-centered training to retirement homes and long-term care industries. Pivotal also delivers senior-focused training to professionals such as realtors, where we offer the accredited senior agent and master accredited senior agent programs across Canada, the senior mortgage professional program, as well as a lawyer's program being launched later this year, all designed in how to work with older adults. Pivotal offers its proprietary Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care compliance program called RAFT, which stands for Wounds, Restraints, Abuse, Falls, and Training. It also carries the exclusive licensing to the Ashby Memory Method program, designed to assist people with early to mid stages of cognitive impairment. It offers Canada's largest seniors real estate referral program, a Seniors Choice Retirement Home Placement program. We're also members of the Certified Executor Advisor Network, the Pivotal Consulting Program for families and older adults facing a life transition, the Canadian Seniors Association, which is our not-for-profit arm, and of course, our joint venture program, SeniorCareAccess.com. Whew, that was a mouthful. Esther and I share this information not to brag or to toot our own horns, but rather that you can see what is powering SeniorCareAccess.com. We're not a school project or a corporate request to create a website. We've created based on innovation for older adults at a pivotal time of need. Okay, so I think that covers the who we are piece. So the program is called the Senior Care Access Vacancy Program, and it is designed to bridge the public sector with the private sector in offering patients an opportunity to recover or receive housing with care when the request fits the criteria. So let's get into the workings of the site, how to navigate it, and how you can gain access. And Esther, if we can pull up the site when you get a chance.
Yep, I'm trying to figure out how to do
no problem.
I
I believe you've all received an email from Esther with your login codes. If you haven't received it, please be sure to check your junk file, because I believe you have been sent. And you don't need the codes today, right now, but obviously you will once you come into to the site on your own. Okay. Excellent.
Okay. Can you see the site, Paul?
Yep, I can see it. So since most of you were not able to attend last month's session, we want to briefly show you the whole site and then take you to the housing section and walk you through how to use it in more detail. Now, for those that are present today that were there at the first presentation, this is simply a review. It'll only take a few minutes, so stick with us, but it'll be good for you to get a second look at it. So what we're looking at here is our homepage. We should share with you that it was imperative to us that access to the site be simple and definitive. We didn't want it bogged down with advertising and flashing banners and all of that. While there are navigation tabs across the top, there are really only 3 entry points into the site designed to meet the needs of the user as they navigate data, care, and resources for seniors. Those are the 3 principal areas that you're going to come into the site. So the first entry on the left is for professionals, researchers, discharge staff, consultants as it relates to a senior in need in housing. And that's in the left blue box, professional access to senior housing details. The second one, right in the middle, second entry is for both the public and professionals when seeking consulting services or navigation for families. This is our pivotal consulting program. Esther is going to go into more detail about all of these. And then finally, the third entry point is for the public, as well as professionals, such as yourself, in seeking services or professional networking. At this point, Esther is going to go through each section, and I don't think we have any comments right now or questions, so we can jump right into there.
Okay. So the first entry point is for professionals, including retirement lifestyle administrators, hospital discharge planners, care service providers, senior service suppliers, placement organizations, consultants, government agencies, etc. While consumers can also access this section of the site, it might be a challenge unless they have an understanding of the different types of care. So our model allows for consumer searches. However, the primary focus is for professional use. This section of the site is membership-based. So once the user becomes a member, they will have access to unbiased and comprehensive information on thousands of housing options and different care levels for seniors across Canada. I'm going to come back to this in a minute, as this is the primary portal you're going to be using. I'm just going to go through each of the other sections in a little bit more detail first. Our second entry point is for consumers and for professionals who need some help for clients. This is our Pivotal Consulting Program. The Pivotal Consulting Program is meant to assist seniors and their families discover what solutions are available, targeting their needs and goals. Pivotal consultants offer a starting point in answering what do we do and who can help us. Areas we assist with are having essential conversations, retirement home selection and placement, real estate transitions, mediation, healthcare planning, executor assistance, life planning for surviving spouses, senior divorce, estate planning, equity release programs, alternate finance